You need to do the moan from Primitive.
Oh, oh.
Huh?
No, my voice would crack so hard if I even attempted.
Moan core, baby.
Encore.
Hmm. Anyway,
I gotta say the. Oh, I was gonna say something
go
about
for it.
Evangelion.
No, all right, we can hold on to that one. But we
Okay.
were speaking about Primitive, and that was our perfect jumping on point. Hello and welcome to the Mega Monster Cast. For today, we were talking about Ultraman G'd, Episode 1. Uh, I am Nick. With me are Alex and Josh.
Huh?
And
I am here.
this is coming.
He's
So
dying.
he is. In terms of recording, this is a couple of weeks out from when we ended our Ultraman Orb run.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's fair. Orb is a special show. I think you're really gonna appreciate G'd over the next few episodes. Like, I would say this is debatably my favorite pilot for an Ultraman series. Like, I think this hits the ground running in a lot of ways.
I mean, I will agree with you on hit the ground running for sure
Mhm.
because it really felt, and I feel like it was more so than I think it was more so than Orb at least
Mhm.
that I
Fact
felt like
is,
there was a show I hadn't watched.
That would be the Ultraman Zero movies, which we will watch when Sean Schemmel dubs them.
I accept these terms.
Yep. They
yeah.
I
exist
was
and they're
gonna
What
be
he has
mad.
over what Gene has over
they
Orb is the
also
fact that he's a lot more wet.
uh those movies we will also get Chris Sabat in the dub too. So
I mean,
Yeah.
they do travel in packs.
yep, they are besties. Anyway, though, so this
It'll
episode,
it's probably gonna be recorded at Sabbath's studio. So I mean, he
100%.
doesn't let a good opportunity go to waste.
His
He
studios are the ones that record all the dubs now for the mainline Ultra series.
I was
I'm
gonna
pretty
say I
okay.
think
I
he
didn't
has
know
rights
that, but
to it.
yeah, like
Yeah,
I think the story that he told in a very paraphrased way at the ConventionCon I went to was, yeah, the recording studio fell through at Funimation. I decided I wanted to do it. And now, 30 years later, I have a studio for all of the Funimation contracts.
yep,
Like,
Oh yeah.
okay, that makes
yeah.
sense. You fall into that.
I mean, again, the dude has some pull. Shocker, you're in the industry long enough, you have pull. Anyway,
Nice
though,
guy too.
I would imagine he seems like he is very
Yeah,
appreciative of the fan base
I'm
that he's
I'm
built up.
still I'm still upset about it. I didn't have the money to go.
Yeah. Anyway, though.
It'll happen again. We'll go next time.
Mhm. Anyway, though,
They
like Alex.
they did a multi-wig Gallic gun, by the way. What?
Uh, so anyway, like Alex was saying,
What do I have that I can fucking throw?
we have a show that hits the ground running like really hard. Where
It did. It
like
did.
okay, so Josh, I know you mentioned this because you were watching the first episode on Discord when you watched it for the first time, and I was there
Uh-huh.
like listening. Um, so we have a new transformation MacGuffin, which you said when you watched him transform for the first time. Oh, so this is just Orb again.
Yes.
Yeah. It definitely reeks of Orb for
Oh,
sure.
100%.
Oh, they're fusing. This is
Yep,
just Orb.
yep.
But with angry eyes.
Yeah, yeah. I also did a bait and switch a little bit with you guys because I said the reason why he looks like that is because he fuses using Belial as his source. How did you feel knowing that
But he did though,
he did, but all of his forms look like that because the eyes
because
aren't.
he's
Yeah, yeah, because
Because
he's.
he's the son?
Yeah, yeah, no,
spoiler
100%.
alert.
I mean, yeah, spoiler alert for the first episode of a 25 episode series.
That came out when 2017.
2017. Yeah, it's the best Star Wars property to be released in 2017. I said that last time. I'll keep saying it.
Yeah, just like in The Force Awakens, he also lives in a tiny little hole.
I would say they set up the idea of him being special a lot better than they did in that movie.
Okay, you can actually side note, you can find like the layout of the of the AT-AT that Ray lives in,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like all the rooms marked, there's not a single bathroom in it. So no one.
In what,
Where did she go?
What, in one of the cutaway books?
Yeah,
She just goes
That's
out in the sand.
fantastic. How is there no bathroom?
She just goes out in the sand. She gets a sandy
How does
vagina.
she?
So
I
anyway.
didn't know there was so much green out there.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we get a literal hit the ground running situation where
As I
this
stare into Alex's
yep, yeah,
background.
where this show
I'm dying.
starts
I'm dying. Though I
with
do want to know. I do want to know, Nick. I want to clarify
yeah,
because it was unclear. You did it. uh, Even though you mentioned 2017, I want to make sure we're not comparing setting up the specialness of Luke. We're setting up. You were talking about setting up the specialness of Rey, which is
Yes.
contested in episode 8, but whatever.
Yes.
Okay, we're
No,
not. We're not
well,
talking about
no,
the
not only
Ridge
that.
Tridge, folks.
I would make the argument, considering
Why don't
she
you
is
start with me?
also descended from a galactic despot, this does a better job of that.
Oh, for 7, 8, 9, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because you know that they didn't think of that until like halfway through the production of 9.
Oh, 100%. Whereas this
God.
one, again, hits the ground running. No, he is Belial's son.
I'm sure
Go.
they had that intended from the beginning because
Well,
it is
yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah. But no,
Shit.
speaking of the beginning though, how did you guys like the fact that this episode starts with Zero and Belial fighting on a wrecked Earth?
I mean, it definitely like hard lines in the idea of dimensionality. Like Earth is gone here, but we still have a story to tell, so there's an Earth.
This
Yeah.
is no, this is the same Earth.
No.
Yeah, this
It
is
just
all one Earth.
like it blew up. Did we not see it turn
You-
into
No,
dust?
you literally see it get fixed in the fucking opening sequence.
Did they not pay it? Okay,
Yeah, no, you need to pay
saw it a
attention to
little
the
out of
opening
order then.
sequence.
There's a
So
lot going on in the opening sequence. To
there
be
is a
fair.
lot, but like Belial destroys this Earth. By destroying the Earth, he's destroying the universe. The Ultra warriors are looking on, unable to do anything. Seeming black hole is going to has the cosmos collapse inward on itself, and then we get the way that the universe is fixed immediately after that, where the very first thing you see in the title sequence is Ultraman King fixing the Earth.
Oh, is that what he did? Okay.
Yes, that is literally what that starting is. Yep.
Okay.
So this has
I missed that little aspect for sure.
yeah. So
Very important aspect.
oh yeah, and it's the start of every every fucking title sequence for the show. So I would be remiss if I didn't give you a little background on King. So King is one of the God Ultras. There
I
are
love how
many,
you don't feel the need to point out which one is king.
because he looks like a fucking king.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are we reviewing episode 1 or 2?
Josh, you can't
Fuck.
fuck with me. I know you watched both. I know you're already ready for 2, but we're talking about 1 and you watched that too.
Oh my god, I thought we were reviewing 2 though.
No.
Why would you think that?
I thought we reviewed 1 already.
No, we have not. You and I have talked about 1. Alex has watched it today, I think.
I watched it yesterday, but
Okay, yeah, still.
I'm
Gosh.
just sitting here, I'm like, why is they talking about all this stuff in episode 1 again?
Yeah, no, you and I talked about it because I was in Discord with you while you watched it. That's why.
what it was.
Yep. No, so Ultraman King, he's there's a few ultras that are considered god level beings.
Every series so far.
Yep.
we haven't missed one.
Yep. Yeah, so King, he's a god. There's like a few ultras that are gods. He's one of them. He's also like kind of the leader of the Land of Light ultras. Yeah.
He's got a crazy aesthetic.
He looks like a king, and that's why they call him that. He also might be their king. They've always kind of shied around whether or not he really is, or if that's just his name.
Everybody
Okay.
knows Ultra 7 is their true king.
Dude, just fucking wait until... I'm not even gonna get into it, but we're gonna get some nods to 7. We're gonna get some nods to 7 you're gonna be happy for. Let's say that.
Ah, that means genocide done by Ultraman.
If only. If only. Um,
Not real genocide. Just. Okay, YouTube.
Yep. Yeah. So in this starting
No
sequence,
shit,
we
right?
also get our main characters. I appreciate this episode doesn't try to introduce us, like give us a full introduction to all the main characters right away, though, because
They were moving quick as it was.
and we only really get, as far as the main cast is concerned, we get an introduction to Riku, who is Ultraman Jeed, Pega, and Rem, and that's
But
kind
we
of it.
get no backstory.
Yeah, but she gonna be
We get,
Pega
I
the
mean,
shit out of you.
we get a little bit of Riku's backstory, because we find out Riku is an orphan, and he was found at um, this planetarium, which,
I think it was an observatory,
yeah,
actually.
observatory.
Planetarium.
Yep. Sadly, I knew you were gonna go there.
Yep.
But yeah, so he was found at this observatory, and we find out why as the episode goes on. But yeah, we don't really linger too much on giving a lot of backstory. We'll get more as the series goes on, but this is really just supposed to like get us used to what the flow of the episodes are going to be like, which I appreciate.
Sure.
We also get a character. Well, first of all, we get in the news, we find out that there was some sort of the people of this earth know there was a calamity that happened, but they're not 100% certain of what went on. And they have record of Belial destroying the earth, but they don't. It's not fully established how much of that destruction of the universe they remember. Just that
So,
Belial.
like, in the opening scene, we see that they're fighting amongst buildings. So, like, it seems like this happened in living memory.
Mhm.
And I guess King reversed time.
Kind of. King fixed the universe and maybe did like a soft time reversal. They keep it ambiguous as to how much people remember about Belial. They know that he existed, and they know that Zero existed because Zero fought him on that Earth, but they keep it vague as to what happened specifically.
Okay. Why does this universe have these two TVs?
Because.
Okay.
We also get, in the time-honored tradition of Juggler, a character with some real fucking weird teeth.
This dude's got a weird jaw thing going on.
Fun fact, he, like many other characters, Juggler's actor included, will play multiple characters across this franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so, because like Juggler, he seems like the kind of actor I could watch all day.
He gets to be on the Defense Force in another series where he
Why
is
do
the...
they always graduate to the Defense Force?
Just
Like,
happens.
Because
so,
they can't
so did
be
Juggler,
Ultraman.
right?
Yep. This guy becomes like the fitness junkie on the Defense Force.
I would love to have like.
Are we talking about New Uncle?
Kind of, yes. He's not around
See,
enough for New Uncle, though.
we need a cork board and a lot of red yarn. We can figure this out.
Yep. Pepe Sylvia, this bitch.
Yes, Pepe Sylvia.
Yep.
Indeed.
We also get an adorable little girl whose ice cream melts.
Yeah,
I
that
think
will be important here soon.
I think it was pre-melted.
Next episode deals a lot with why ice cream is melting. Just letting
Okay,
you know
because
that.
that did not come back up.
No, it's
Yeah.
the entire there's a large focus on it in the next episode. They do that with like some threads where they'll introduce them in one episode and then pay them off in the next, which I actually appreciate. I think that's kind of a fun
I
storytelling
like
element.
that too. It makes it feel a little bit more connected.
Yeah. It's an ice cream monster.
Yeah. We're just gonna get a big old scoop of ice cream walking down the town.
It's like the Michelin star guy from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I
Stay
say
puft.
Michelin Man is Stay Puff.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Sorry, I was watching stuff about Michelin star restaurants earlier, so it was just in my head.
I get it.
I mean, it's a close reference, but it's
Mhm.
not quite right.
I'll see myself out. I'll queue it.
Yeah, so Riku checks the freezer. There's nothing wrong with it, so he doesn't know why the ice cream is melted. And then we get our introduction to Pega as he sticks his
Yeah.
head out of a shadow.
I love him.
Pega's a fun character. I like Pega a lot. I think this is one of the better uses of an alien sidekick in the franchise.
I was immediately worried this was going to be UP.
No, Pega's actually like very likable and sweet. He's a little bit shy, and I enjoy that about him.
His aesthetic is hilarious to me.
Oh yeah, the little heart.
And then we
Well,
get
I mean,
the
like the
fucking
tracksuit.
monster.
Well, he's like a teenager. So fun fact, Riku's actor in this was, I believe, 16 or 17 when he played Riku. So he was an actual teenager playing this character.
Sure.
And weird other fact, he does a YouTube show for Subaraya Productions that makes Ultraman, where he does like basically like a little news segment for them every couple weeks.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, he was also his he, like many other characters, his actor was his actor played a character in one of the Ultraman Zero movies when he was a little kid, and then he got to play a different character, Riku, in his own show. They really like using the same actors. If they like you, they'll keep bringing you back for other things.
Hey, kid. You want to be an Ultraman?
He's also
Yeah, mister.
he's also in one of my
In the van.
new favorite movie series, Baby Assassins. It's real
What?
fucking good. It's real fucking good.
Baby. Aspirin.
Baby Assassins. It has one of the people from The Raid.
Oh, which one?
I want to say she was in the first one. She was one of like the stunt people in it.
I should not be putting this into my search bar.
It's a good
Oh
movie.
my God, there's 2 movies.
Yeah. No, he's in
Baby
the second one.
Assassins 2.
Yeah, he's in the
Babies.
second one. Yeah.
What else?
Babies? No, it's just called Babies, like aliens.
Yep. No, it's Baby's Assassin.
Yes, better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we find out Riku's into like Japanese superhero shows. Specifically, his favorite superhero is Dawn
It's on
Shine.
Tubi. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
It's very clearly this universe's Kamen Rider.
Oh, 100%. He's a big Kamen Rider fan.
Kamen Rider.
And then we get
He's got the books and the videos and everything.
Yep. And then we get a flashback to him jumping and slamming his head against the ceiling, which is
Because
our first...
apparently that's a sign of his non-earthling status.
Oh yeah, Pega right away is like, no, you're clearly not a human. Come on, like, you do crazy shit all the time. You're not human.
Yeah, you fucking freak.
Yeah. No, I love their friendship. I love the the relationship between Pega and Riku, that like it's always kind of there. Like Pega's not going to get focus every episode, but like he's a fixture of this show, and I think it's really fun that like that friendship is a pre-existing one that we get to have. Then we get our introduction to our first kaiju of the series, Skull Gomorrah.
Fuck you, Red King.
Josh, you're just upset because this is a really good design that uses Red King.
I know. I like even when I watched it, I was just like, "There's a king involved here."
Yep.
I don't know which one, but there is. And then they confirmed it for me.
I mean,
And now I'm upset.
I would say you can tell if we're just looking at his body, it's Red King.
I don't know. There's so many kings in this.
That's fair. There's a lot of kings. Yeah, so we get Red King. Alex, what did you think? Sorry, we get Skull Gomorrah. What did you think of him?
Golgrimar, yeah.
Where's Skull Gamora? Why Skull Gamora?
It's like
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
7
It
minutes
was
in.
good. It was good.
Yeah, I think it's a really solid like first kaiju for him to fight.
Yeah, don't go soft on the first kaiju. If you gotta cut the budget somewhere, first one is not the place to do it.
Oh no, like you need that to set the tone of like, oh, this is going to be what the rest of the show is going to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get Skull Gomorrah walking around this town just destroying it, and no defense force. Like no one comes to try to stop this. It's just a kaiju
find out
stomping
why.
through the town.
Everybody's still, even though this is supposedly the first kaiju sighting, everybody's a little too casual about it.
I think it's supposed to be the first one in a long time. Let's say that. Because like they're aware.
Doesn't the manager say, "Oh my God, kaiju's are real"?
Yeah, but like I get the impression it's not like oh, we've never heard of these so much as oh, I thought those were like a myth situation.
I mean, like if they were real and you knew they were real but rare, I feel like you'd still have a defense force.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we get
It takes money.
yeah.
What do you think
And
this is? Blazar? No.
I mean, like spoiler alert, we do have a defense force in this universe. We'll get introduced to them a little more as time goes on, but they're not your typical defense force.
They're made out of men. Ultramen.
Sort of. No, it's not like a military defense force. It's like a Men in Black defense force. Yeah. So we get a little confirmation of Riku's like entire town is basically being evacuated because there's nothing they can do to stop Skull Gomorrah as it just walks through. Which I say town, but this is clearly like a giant city that it's just destroying.
Yeah, when we get that wide shot, it's pretty vast.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice though.
And then we also, little note before I move on, we find out that the girl and her mom have gone off to where her grandpa lives, and that's where they're going to stay. Because hopefully they'll be safe there. And then we get our introduction on what Jeed means.
Was this supposed to be a callback to anything else, or was this
No,
just like he's got a motto?
He's got a motto, and it's setting up what Jeed is, the name Jeed, because it doesn't really mean anything unless you hear him say his motto. Which when you say, like when he says his motto, Jeed is in the motto. So sitting around doing nothing, it won't get us anywhere has in Japanese Jeed in it. So that's where we're gonna get
I heard
Jeed.
him vocalize it.
Huh.
Yep. So he's gonna like it's establishing that he wants to be like a positive figure which is kind of fun when you have that juxtaposed against that he's Belial's son, who is debatably the most negative figure in the franchise. Yes. Stelio Cantos. Yeah, so they go to the observatory where Riku was found as a child, and he and Pega are camping out, making some sort of soup to drink or something. And on the radio, they find out that Skull Gomorrah is heading towards where the girl Ares' family is. So it's going to go and attack them, and they're both kind of real down about that they can't really do anything to help her because they care about her, but you know, what can you do when you're a human? And this little ball droid shows up.
Yeah,
And he
it looks like a
touches
ball
it.
droid.
Yep. Riku reaches out and touches it and is immediately electrocuted.
That's what he gets for touching strange things.
Yep. And it specifically says B factor confirmed, and the base it's attached to goes from sleep mode to active mode, and a fucking elevator materializes out of the ground.
This elevator's got some magic ass properties.
Yeah, it's gonna be very Doctor Who-y.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, is it just an elevator to a different dimension?
Kind of, yeah.
You just see
Surprised they even
Juggler's.
bother with.
This is where Juggler's sword goes whenever he's not using it.
Yeah, Juggler's sword's just gonna appear in the background every now and then.
It's just in a mystical dumbwaiter.
Yep. They're gonna open the fucking bathroom, and the sword's just in the shower.
You just see Juggler's hand grabbing it. And
Yep. Then we get our visual introduction to a character who doesn't get a whole lot to do this episode, but will next episode, where there's a girl with a sword.
yeah, she's gonna cut down the kaiju.
Yep.
The hell are you gonna do with that?
We get an introduction.
Absolutely jack shit, because all she does is kick and punch.
We also get our introduction to our Defense Force members who are wearing fancy suits because they're men in black.
No!
Including one lady who is very excitable and the man who seems very chill. Fun fact, these two actors fell in love on set and are married. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, it's real sweet. So now,
And
they do cameos and shows together now because they've met on this show. It's real adorbs.
I need to go on an Ultraman show.
Yep. You'll be Red King 3.
Oh, fuck, I'd accept it.
Yeah, so the elevator materializes inside of their
I
base.
demand to be painted yellow, though.
Yep.
you would fall in love with the actor who played Ganular. I'm just calling it right
No.
now.
No, because she's a harlot. I'm lonely.
Yeah, so we find out that this orb has sampled Riku's blood and gives him a bunch of items because
I think that's what the touch was. I don't think it was a shock. I think he got poked.
no, he specifically says that it pricked him. I just like claiming that it electrocutes him because it's like a weird light thing that happens. But yeah, no, it samples his blood, and then we get our introduction to the transformation MacGuffin for this one.
Why does it have so many moving parts?
Because it needs to keep kids entertained. Could be worse. The series after this, you have to pull on a fucking thing 3 times in a row.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that 30-year-olds are not the target audience for this.
Oh, 100% not.
Yeah, if only, they had cool transformation devices like this.
Yeah,
we got a taste of that in the
The
What
orb
was it? The
movie.
opening sequence?
Oh, yeah, no, like, yeah. So, that's another thing. The
That
opening
MacGuffin
sequence.
looked real dumb too.
No.
We're gonna get that
It
often
did.
in this show. Zero is one of the main characters.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yep.
Don't
I
forget two
just
zeros and 7. They'd be a secret agent.
I'm just gonna say that it wouldn't make much of a difference, I think, but I think it would add an air of legitimacy if they weren't so clearly made of plastic.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you just
well,
made the fucking belt shit out of metal, it would have. I just come on. You can make kids the ones you sell in the stores plastic. It never stopped kids from wanting to have the replica before.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, now well, and it specifically says like, oh, you can use these to transform back into your original form because your human form is not what you actually are. You're actually something else. And I love
Then it
Riku's like,
makes so little sense that he can transform for only 3 minutes.
it's because he can't transform forever on Earth. Fun fact: if he's not on Earth, he can transform for longer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's
it's
because of Earth's gravity.
no, it's because the atmosphere blocks UV lights to an extent. Ultras are semi-solar powered.
Wow, that doesn't sound like any other superlative, man.
Yep. No, it's totally not inspired by anything else.
I feel like the other way around.
Anyway, though.
I think you might be mistaken.
Yep. Maybe just a tiny bit. But yeah, I love Riku's like
Fuck that
whole
piece of
thing.
shit. Fuck him.
I love Riku's whole thing about like, well, if I transform, would I be strong enough to pick up a piano? Yeah. What about a dump truck? Yeah. What about a kaiju? Yeah.
Yeah.
Becca's like, no, you can't like let him think this.
I'm like, why didn't you start with the bread box? Like that's usually the question.
Hmm.
What kind of bread box? Wooden bread box? Plastic bread box? I found a metal one once. They're all different weights.
Hmm.
You think that all pianos weigh the same?
Yep.
Are you serious?
So anyway,
Maybe.
Riku's like, I'm gonna go fight the monster, and Peg is like, no, you can't, and Rem, the light orb's like, no, he can, but he can't. No, he totally can.
Hey, he
It's
can do
not true,
this.
but it is.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
And,
not true. It's impossible.
yep, and
No, it's
she's like,
implausible.
yeah, he has Ultraman DNA. He can totally do this. And Riku's like, oh, cool, and he picks up the Ultraman capsule and is like, all right, I'm gonna be this.
What are these?
They're capsules.
Pokemon.
Yep.
It's very clear. Come on.
They're bullet-shaped
The
capsules.
the props for Ultraman properties just frustrate me sometimes.
Again, this isn't as bad as it could be. You need to see Decker's transformation device or
Or the
Rude's.
toothbrush.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying what.
Hmm.
Like the thing that bothers me most, I think, is that the the props get so much attention and are made poorly.
That's fair.
But they are made poorly, but geniusly in the eyes of a child.
Yeah.
I would hate to spoil
Yeah.
the sparkle in a child's eyes.
Ah! He's got a cool one.
I bought the Blazar one. I've had it
See,
sitting
like
next to me
That
for
one uses
weeks.
Pogs.
It does use Pogs. I've got the Pogs here.
Do it. Do the thing. Do the thing. Do the
Not
thing.
right now. Not right now, but I have some of the Pogs here too.
Yay.
Yeah. This one might be this one is the Belial one. Gave me a Belial Pog when I bought it.
Ariel.
Anyway.
it's never gonna get old, is it?
Yep.
No. I love
Okay.
it.
So yeah. Now
why are these made this way? Like, I feel like, and they make a glass clinking sound. They could just fucking made out of glass. Like they did they really not pay someone enough to make these out of anything other than very clear plastic? Something that I would expect I could see in a fucking Happy Meal. Do gooder.
So anyway, Riku gets sent up in the elevator because he's gonna go fight the monster, and he calls.
Also, this. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and he calls Rem for the first time. That's it.
For no reason. It's such a post hoc rationale.
Yep.
Like, you called me that because of this reason. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That will be brought up again later.
Okay.
Yep.
It almost needed to be. Like, that bothered me.
Yep. As someone who's
no.
watched this far too much as one of his comfort shows, it'll be brought up later.
I
Yeah.
wish I would have had these shows when I was a kid.
This was 2017, dude. This was just what I watched.
No, I
during
know.
COVID.
I get that that's not possible.
Yep.
But
And technically,
I would have really, like, I would have been a fanboy probably for some of this shit.
they had Ultraman Tiga on TV, but it was the dubbed version. It was real bad.
Oh no.
The 2000s dub for Tiga is real bad.
I don't think I would have been exposed to a lot of Japanese culture through my parents either.
It was on
Surprisingly enough, I was.
Fox. It was on Saturday morning Fox.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That I might have accidentally come across that once or
Yeah, I
twice.
watched like 3 episodes and I hated it because the dub was real bad.
Yeah, I feel like that probably was bad, huh?
Yeah. Anyway, though, so Riku's up there, and if he touches his side thing, he can hear Rem talk inside of his brain. And
that's normal. That's fine.
yep. And
I'm a tumor. I'm a tumor.
Yep. No, the tumor thing is where we see Eri, her mom, and the shopkeep running down the street, and then we switch to Skull Gomer's point of view, and it's Eri's mom, the shopkeeper, and a beacon of light where Eri is supposed to be.
That doesn't mean nothing.
Yep. It's totally not chasing after Eri, the beacon of light. Alex, you looked like for a second, you're like, what are they talking about?
Yes, I heard something behind me though.
That's fair.
But yeah, you skipped over the introduction to our villain, our juggler.
Oh yeah, yeah. Fukuida's.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
He's not as good. He's not as good. Like, I like him. He's okay. He is definitely the juggler we have at home.
His nails are pretty.
Discount juggler.
His
got
actor's
pretty
really
nails.
good. And they do different things with him, but he's clearly like the problem is he's too similar to Juggler at the onset, and I think
That he
it
gets
would have
typecast in my mind.
yeah, like because they do other stuff with him that I think is way more interesting. Like they do a lot of stuff with him I think is way more interesting where it separates him from Juggler,
Yeah.
but his early design leans too much into that, which is the problem.
Mm.
Although we do get that he can create fusion monsters right away, which is fun. Unlike with Orb, where we only got one fusion monster the entire time, we will get multiple fusion monsters from him.
Ooh, good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
can think of at least a couple more that we're gonna get. One of which I really, really fucking like. Yeah. Then we get our first transformation for Riku into Jeed, where he uses Ultraman and Ultraman Belial as the catalysts.
So, with this being
This
his
isn't as
true form,
I mean,
this is just his parents, right? He's just using his parents.
We get a glimpse
Ultraman and Ultraman Belial are his actual parents.
No, we find out
they formed light.
Are. We know who his dad is. We will find out the other half of that as the show goes on. But
I like my theory better.
we do briefly get a glimpse of his true form before he turns into Primitive. He'll never use that actual base form for fighting. Primitive is his base form for all intents and purposes. Anyway, how do you guys like Primitive? I fucking love this. I think it's one of the best base form designs in this franchise.
I think it's the best design we've seen of a base form yet.
Yeah. I mean, next to Blazar.
Blazar is a
I mean,
top
Blazar is
three,
pretty
in my
high.
opinion. But I fucking love Primitive. I think it does a lot, and like it's very efficient at telling you just visually where the influences come from for it. I also like that the entire crowd stops and stares because they don't know what to think of him.
Yeah, and Uncle's like, why do I know this?
Oh
Where
shit,
do I know him from?
those eyes look familiar. Oh shit, is it Belial? I love Riku's looking down at his hands like, huh, this is cool.
I kind of
It's basically
like
everybody's
this.
first time in VR.
Yep.
I do like this effect though.
Yeah, like his effect where like he has the Jeed face like superimposed on him whenever you see his real face.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually like that. I kind of wish Orb did it.
Oh, I'm glad they didn't. I didn't like it.
Get used to it, Alex. You're gonna see it a lot.
I'm fine. It's fine. It's just the first time I saw it, I was like, I thought it was like actual practical like makeup on his eyes, and I was like, that's unsettling. I got used to it by the end of the episode, even, but like the first time I saw it, it was unsettling.
Yeah, it's a little weird the first time you see it, but when you get used to it, it's kind of like
Yeah,
fun.
it kind of grows on you after you
Yeah.
watch the second episode.
How would you know?
We've already established he thought we were doing episode 2 today.
I just want to shame him.
Yep.
You can't shame me.
I also love the way
I can make the college try.
Yep. I love the way Jeed jumps across like
He's
12
like,
city blocks to get him.
Didn't Rising do that?
Yes. I want to
I
say
like that.
yes. But I like
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
that effect of him just jumping across the city. And then he gets in and they just start wailing on each other.
This one was better than the fly-in landing that we got later.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't think he should have done. I think it works later on. I don't think he should have done this for the first episode. I think it would have worked better if he didn't if he got used to his abilities over the course of the episodes.
Oh, I meant from a practical, like an effect standpoint. Like,
oh no, it looked bad.
The wires.
Yeah.
Yeah. But suspension of disbelief, yeah, with you.
Just saying, this is the best an Ultraman has looked in water.
He does get real wet.
Is it wrong that the first thing I thought was, oh no, the suit?
That's fair. No,
this is the only time it's ever gonna get cleaned, so.
Yep.
God.
Dude, I will say I fucking love the way this episode is shot too. I'll bring up who directed it towards the end, but like just the camera work, like
Dude,
the actual fight
good.
choreography, it's so good. And,
there's one shot that's amazing because Rip Off Red King does a tail whip and somehow is super effective and he flips himself.
I'm literally looking at that scene right now.
I love it.
Yeah, no, the entire fight in the water is really, really good.
I think the acrobatics alone sold it to me. Like, but yeah, it was framed real well, and I think they did a really good job of still keeping scale.
Oh yeah. Like the way at one point he talks about like when he crashes through a building that like it feels soft, like he's moving through sand when he hits it. Like those little touches of like why he's not getting hurt. Again, just like this episode just runs on all cylinders. And I'm not going to say every episode does, but like it's really smart to have a good first episode like this. But yeah, and of course we have to get the point where Jeed's color timer goes off.
I like that it's not the same sound.
Yep. Oh, they try to keep it like different, where most color timers sound a little different at least. Yeah, and then we get the reveal of, yeah, you can only stay in your Ultraman Geed form for 3 minutes on planet. And then you have to wait 20 hours before you can transform again. Which means
That seems
hypothetically...
like a harder rule than we've ever gotten before.
And they try their best to stick with that rule. But yeah, so then Rem brings up like, well, why don't you just shoot it with your energy blast? He's like,
What are you
what?
waiting for?
It's like, what do you mean? He's like, Rem's like, well, you already know how to do this, right? I don't know what you're talking. Wait, fuck, I do know what you're talking about. All right, cool. I guess I'm gonna do this. Then he does that fly-in thing. I agree, also looks real cheesy. It's probably the worst effect of the episode, in my opinion. But then we get the best effect of the episode, in my opinion. Like,
I
bar
thought
none.
That beam?
the beam
Yeah.
was metal as shit.
Dude, I love the Wrecking Burst, and this is like one of the best uses of it. I was pretty sure that you guys were gonna like it. Like the way his hands start glowing and the lightning comes off of them and his eyes start glowing too. And like the debris starts picking up off the ground before he fires. So fucking sick. I love it. It's one of the best first uses of an energy beam in the show.
But he broke the rule of cool guys don't watch explosions.
Well, it's because
He's not cool yet.
he didn't, first of all, he's a nerd. He's a massive nerd, literally a massive nerd. Second of all, he's looking at it so everyone can look at his back.
Okay, I will say the back of the suit's probably one of the best ones so far because it's not opened.
Yeah, you'll get a little bit of open. I'm just gonna let you know. You're gonna get a little open every now and then. It's just gonna happen. Blazar's only worked because they covered the fin. If the fin's not
and they were
covered, you're gonna
smart.
get a little. Yeah. So then,
But this Ultraman doesn't fly off into the distance.
yep. Instead, he turns into light particles in swirls of darkness. And then we get Riku looking at the fight footage himself. He's like, "Wait, that's me." And then we get the big reveal on, oh, it turns out that that B factor that Rem was talking about means that there is a 99.9% chance that Riku is Belial's son.
But you're saying there's a chance.
Yep, there's technically a chance in that he is 100% Belial's son. That is what this show is about. Get ready for it.
We gonna talk about the reproductive cycle of the Ultras?
Uh, there's an episode about that sort of, yes.
They fucking the butt and light comes out of a galaxy. When two Ultramen love each other very, very much, Alex,
I'm just gonna tell you right
they
now,
fuck.
I have no
Riku
follow-up questions.
is a test tube baby. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, they had a surrogate.
You're not wrong. It's just gonna be more complicated when we
No,
get to it.
tell him he's wrong. He needs to hear it sometime.
No, I was right about Juggler. I am right about. Ow, I hurt myself.
There you go.
I pointed too hard and hit the corner of my desk really hard. I bit my nail back.
Jesus Christ.
I also
Ow.
sprained my sciatica.
Oh yeah, I did that. Why?
Yeah. So that was Ultraman Geed, episode 1. Welcome to the secret base. What'd you guys think?
The best Star Wars property to come out in 2017.
It is that.
If you had to summarize what you learned in one sentence, what would it be?
Again,
Oh my god.
I feel pretty comfortable in saying that one.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I had sat on that for months before I said it. I came up with that early in Orb.
Yeah.
I could feel you flexing from here.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I was so I was so ready to say that. I was so excited for it. It was, again,
Like you had giddy SpongeBob energy where he's just like biting his lip and just
yep. Uh, yeah.
and I'm here for it.
Uh-huh. So anyway, this episode was directed by Koichi Sakamoto, who, for things we've seen, he directed Ultra Fight Orb,
Oh, okay.
which is why
You
the
know
action
that
feels
that
similar.
lives rent free in my head.
Yep. The action feels really similar, right? Like it's
Yeah.
very kinetic.
Yeah. I like that it didn't focus a lot on grabs because those got real like choreographically like kind of dull.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like you said, this one kept it pretty kinetic.
Yep. Let's see, what else did he do? He directs a bunch more episodes of Jeed, um, Ultraman Z, which we will eventually get to, and Ultraman Regulos, which is a series that I have told Josh he needs to watch.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
Mhm.
The first episode I watched.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Let's see. As for writers, it was written by Hirotaka Adachi, who wrote a bunch of episodes of Jeed, and that's it. He wrote one
Oh,
episode of Rube. I'm sure he wrote other things, but that's the only thing.
nothing we've come across yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Alex, I tagged you in something.
thoughts on? Obviously, we talked about that. We liked the design
What?
for.
No.
Obviously, we
real.
talked about we liked the design for Jeed and we liked the design for Skull Gomorrah.
But not his influence. Don't
Everyone
approve.
loves Red King. It's a Red King with horns. They repainted.
Well, they're wrong.
Anyway, though, yeah. So this series again, this was one of the shows that I watched like during COVID because I needed something to do. I think this is gonna be like again, it's not initially there's a lot of similarities between it and Orb. I think as time goes on, it does a good job of differentiating itself from that show though. Like the writing is going to be a lot different. The way you use characters is going to be a lot different too.
Ooh.
I mean, obviously, like we had basically every main character introduced to us in the first episode of Orb. We only get like glimpses of a lot of the main cast, and some of the main cast we don't get anything from in this episode.
Which I kind of like. I'd rather it be kind of a slow build up.
Yeah, like we get introduced to them over time, and like I know Josh, you've watched the second episode. You still haven't been introduced to all the main characters yet.
Nope.
Yeah, spend the time.
Yep. Which I think is smart. Like the SSP were all archetypes, so it was really easy to introduce to them. For this show, I think that there's a little more effort put into making all the side characters like characters first, which I appreciate. Like I love the SSP because they're funny goofs. But like
Yeah, definitely.
in this show, any of the side characters can be both funny and serious depending on the circumstance. Anyway, though, Yeah. Any final thoughts before we call this one?
Looking forward to more.
Yeah, honestly, this one seems to be really good.
It's a lot of fun. I think.
Especially if I can get me some Belial.
I mean,
Ultraman. Belial.
I mean.
Never gets old.
Anyway, yeah. Tune in next time. Bye bye.
Bye. Say it.